So I pretty much just filmed like 10 minutes worth of a video and realized I had the camera upright instead of sideways, so I guess we're starting again. Anyway, I really enjoyed filming yesterday, so I decided to film again today. Now I'm just sitting in the car park filming, about to go to the gym. I was filming on the way here, so now I gotta spend a quick 5 minutes in here talking. And assuming the title of the video is what I intend it to be, I kind of just wanted to talk about discipline for a bit. In my life, personally, the only real discipline I have is the gym and kind of all areas surrounding the gym. So I take creatine every day, I take my vitamins, and I come to the gym almost every day. It gets to a point, like I said yesterday, where it does become habitual and you do just enjoy coming. Like, you don't really think twice about it. Like, it's part of your life, you know. You don't have to think about going to the gym. It's just part of your daily habits, you know. Like I arrange my life to fit in the gym wherever I can. Like, if it's after work, or I don't know, if I'm trying to fit it in my day, it's always going to be there no matter what. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if you stick long enough with something, it doesn't become discipline anymore. And that serves a point, because it's almost as like, how are you going to keep challenging yourself in life if something doesn't become hard anymore, you know? So I think you should really be looking to challenge yourself in new areas of your life all the time. For example, I've tried to start running again, and I've been pretty slack with that already. And I think part of that is because it doesn't really align with my gym goals. I'm not trying to lose too much weight, and I think part of building a habit is having a good reason to start it to begin with. So, like, the reason I wanted to start gym so badly was because I hated how I looked. I was ridiculously skinny, and that really motivated me for those first few months. And even though I was motivated at sometimes I wasn't, and that's when the discipline kind of kicks in. You know, you really have to just tell yourself you're gonna go, because the hardest times are when you're really not motivated. But I think that's what makes it easier in the future. If you're able to push through the really hard times to go, it makes it a lot easier in the future. And I think if you're able to build past those times, then you can create a good habit for your life. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you keep getting to points of enjoyment in all your areas of your life where, you know, it's not hard for you to do something anymore, it does become a habit, that's a good thing. You know, you can be proud of the fact that you have a good habit in your life now, but you kind of need to keep challenging yourself in order to grow as a person. If you always are comfortable with what you're doing, then you can't really... I feel like the tough times are what builds your character, you know? If something's always easy for you, what's the point of... No, that's not... You can keep doing something that's easy, but I think it's important to keep challenging yourself in new aspects of your life. And that can be a number of different things. So it's really the simple things that are the easiest to drop and the hardest to keep. Like reading a book for 15 minutes a day. It seems easy, but sticking with it is hard, because you think it's not that important, you know. It's easy to drop these little things, but if you're able to build this stuff up, it really does make a difference in your life. And I think you'll notice that with any sort of habits you build, it does change who you are and your character in a good way if they're good habits. I think it's important for people to build those things up. I feel like I'm kind of going in circles again. I took my pre-workout, so I don't really want to let that wear off. I want to get a quick gym session, and then maybe I'll have something new to say when I come out. I'll see you guys after the session. Just finished the gym. Pretty mediocre session, honestly. And it's gonna be like that sometimes, you know. You're not always gonna enjoy what you're doing, even if it's something good for you. You're not always gonna feel like it, you know. I was in there, and halfway through I was just not enjoying it. I just wanted to leave, but I stuck to it. And those are the moments that kind of build your mental fortitude, and it'll just make it easier for you to do that same thing in the future when you're in that same sort of state of mind where you're not keen but you do it anyway. It'll just make that time easier next time. So I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did now. And I picked myself up a little feed, because another thing is I've been kind of slack with my eating. That's just another form of discipline, you know. I need to be able to eat, I should eat all my meals properly cooked, but it's okay to have bad days, you know. I don't eat perfect every single day. The main thing is you at least get back on it and keep trying. Like, most of my days I'm usually pretty good with my eating, but some days I'm off, and I think not letting those days discourage you is important to building a long-term habit, because you are never going to be perfect every single day. That's just unrealistic. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I feel like that's a large reason people get discouraged from doing things continuously, because they do think they need to be perfect all the time, but that's really not what it's about. It's about building consistency, and that you can build that consistency if you just keep doing it, even if you have those bad days. Because, oh my god, what are you doing? Some guys did a U-turn from the left lane. I'm really losing my train of thought. I think I've kind of got a bit of brain fog. I don't know why. Another thing I wanted to mention is you won't always see the results you want. Me personally, I went for months before I felt like I saw any results, and that's normal, you know. You're not gonna get the results straight away, but that's kind of what makes it so fulfilling, is because when you do finally see results, you know it's because you stayed consistent even when times are rough and you didn't feel like doing it, and you couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You couldn't see where it was going. It felt like nothing you did made a difference. But if you stick through those times and you make it to the other end, you know, you will start to see results. And that's in any area of your life where it takes a bit more mental fortitude to stick through something. I honestly feel like it really does build character, because it gives you something. It gives you a bit of substance, you know. You stuck through something that most people wouldn't, and that's something to be proud of, you know. Anyway, not really sure where to go with this. I guess what my main point is staying consistent with anything isn't easy, but if you're able to stick through it, you will come out better, because anything worth having doesn't come on a silver platter, you know. You have to earn it, and that's what makes it so rewarding. I think you'll like the person that comes out the other side. With regards to myself, I have a lot of areas I want to improve on. I don't really know what my top priority is in terms of what I want to do. In terms of challenges, I'd like to become a more active person and kind of just talking to others more. I feel like 80% of my time is spent alone, and that's really self-induced. I think the major part of that is I'm not employed, so barely employed, so I don't really see anyone during the week. I do make an effort whenever I can to step out of that like comfort zone. So an example is just at the gym, I've introduced myself to multiple people, and now I have people I can talk to on a regular basis at the gym, which is good. I'd like to extend that a bit further to, talking to people who maybe I have a similar interest with. I'm not really sure how to go about that, but I feel like it will make a difference in terms of what I want in life, because associating with people who have similar interests and that are beneficial to you, they help you improve upon yourself. If you're hanging around with people who just aren't benefiting you in any way, then what's the point, So I'd like to surround myself with more like-minded people. And it's not an easy thing to do, because you do have to go out of your comfort zone to talk to people who sometimes you don't want to, but you just, you're scared or anxious. But I think once you're able to push past those barriers, you'll notice that everyone kind of has those same barriers, and they're also just trying to, improve themselves, and everyone else also just wants to connect to someone else. So anyway, I've gone a bit off topic here. I feel like I've rambled a lot and not really said what I wanted to say again. So I'm gonna wrap it up there, go inside, edit the footage, see if I like it. Maybe I'll post it or not. Anyway, thanks again for listening. And yeah. So yeah.